Welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Seth.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 16, Part 1 of Decision Day. Gonna move on just briefly and talk about Clint and Gina. Not a whole lot to talk about, definitely for us. No surprise. You guys let us know if you were surprised by the outcome of this. I mean, you never know. Honestly. I'll tell you what I was surprised about, but I'll get to that in a minute. A couple of things. But the ultimate outcome, the no's for Decision Day, not surprised about that at all. Also not surprised that they were nice and amicable with one another. That just seems to be their MO. They're older for participants in this show, maybe a little bit more mature in some ways, not mature at all in other ways. Honestly, the way that they let the honeymoon derail everything that they could have possibly had, I thought was so poorly handled and unfortunate. But I mean, they pushed through it. They pushed through it as friends. They knew that was what they were doing. I don't think that they really, either one of them, made an effort to do anything else. There was zero romance in the whole situation. And each and every time that it was addressed or there was an expert or anything, there wasn't really any effort made. But to be fair, and you guys let me know if you think I'm wrong about this, if there was any person giving more effort than the other, I certainly felt like it was Clint giving a little bit more than Gina. So as I get on to my first point of surprise, he let me know if it annoyed y'all too that Gina was like, well, I wish he had taken the initiative to, essentially say, hey, we're in this marriage already. I'm committed to it. And do what exactly with it, Gina? Because as we all remember, she didn't even want to move in. She didn't even want to move into the apartment after the honeymoon. So where was he going to go from there? To my knowledge, from what I've seen, and you guys let me know if I'm wrong, I think they slept in separate bedrooms.
They did.
The entire time, except when they were on like the group vacation. And for all I know, one of them slept on the floor because there was just no chemistry. They didn't want to be in the same space with one another in that way. So, and I feel like that was led by Gina. So asking the other person to undo the distance that you've put in between yourself and them, I think is a little bit unreasonable.
I agree. That's a mountain that's very high for someone to kind of scale and get over the top of it. From a man's standpoint, you want your guy, you want your husband, whatever, you want to be a leader. You want to see him lead the couple, lead the marriage through and over and out, whatever the situation is. But this is a very different situation. Right off the rip, you're telling him you're not even attracted to him, and you're calling him ginger, by which he thought was offensive. And so when he comes back with, I want someone a little bit more physically fit, however he said it. I know I put words in his mouth, and my wife is a stickler for
you
direct
can paraphrase. You just got to say you paraphrase.
All right, I paraphrase. And so, that hurt her feelings or whatever. And so they had a very, very rocky start. But because of that rocky start, you can't just be like, okay, well, I'm going to give him a chance, but he needs to pursue me. No, you both got to make this thing work at this particular point. You didn't choose each other. You were chosen for one another. And so you're on even playing ground. You said what you said, Gina, and he said what he said. And so the ground is flat. He shouldn't pursue you to the point to where you got to feel like, oh, how, I'm no.
Well, I mean, I think they would have needed to wipe the slate clean. And there would have needed to be a conversation that they had. Now, we don't know all the conversations that they may have had behind closed doors. I get that. But if she were to put him, in my opinion, in a position to where he felt comfortable pursuing, they would have had to sit down and have a conversation where she said, look, I would like to wipe the slate clean. I don't want to carry any negativity that's going on or that has gone on from the honeymoon into what we're trying to do now. If we're going to spend the next 6 or 7 weeks together saying that we're giving this a fair shot, that's exactly what I want to do. Yeah. So I want to open the door to you. I'm fine with us staying in the same place. I'm hoping to at least progress to us sleeping in the same bedroom, you know, whatever the case may be. But she would have had to let him know this door is open, not kick it in, you know, open the door so he knows that it's an opportunity for him to get someplace. I feel like he would have done that. Yeah. He seems like a normal man. Like, I think he would have pursued her sexually if he felt like the door was open. I just do. I mean, Clint is... Y'all saw the previews. They asked him if he'd had sex since decision day, and his answer was an emphatic yes. Like, this man is not, like, hiding under rocks here from women. Like, he would have pursued her, I think. So, that's where I am with that. Now, speaking of previews, and where my second surprise comes from, is the issue of Hank. Oh, I thought you were supposed to talk about something else. Okay, Hank. I mean, if you got something else, by all means. No. But we'll go on to Hank. I mean, it was very clear during the course of this show that there was a bond, and it seemed like, sadly, a stronger bond between Clint and Hank than anyone else. Yeah. In that household scenario. Than Gina and Hank, and then Gina and Clint. So I knew it would be sad, because people get very attached to animals. You know, I knew it would be sad for him parting ways with Hank. What I did not know is that he would try to steal this woman's dog. And I as much as I'm like, you know, somewhat like a Clint apologist, whatever the case may be, I do not condone him trying to keep this woman's dog. I hope that this is just, because, I don't know, clickbait to make us watch. First of all, I do not believe that Clint has taken Gina's dog. I don't. You know. What do you think happened? Give me your theory. It doesn't make any sense. What are they talking about? It could. Who it knows? Seems like, well, they've set it up anyway, guys, and you let us know your theories. They set it up to seem like he has possession of the dog, and he may or may not return it to Gina. No. Now, in this actual episode, of course, they were asked about Hank. And Clint's like, well, you know, Hank is Gina's dog. She brought him into the relationship, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody could see that strong bond. So they're wondering, you know, is he going to have a hard time parting ways? Or Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper were tipping us off that there was going to be drama. Maybe. But, you know, I don't think he took the dog. I don't think he's trying to keep the dog. I'm sure it's some very reasonable explanation for this. It could have been he got COVID or something, and he needed it, and he probably had the dog with him at that particular time. He was quarantined, and so he couldn't return the dog on schedule. It could have been something as simple as that. This sounds like some mess. It does. And I'm going to tell y'all what. What? As a divorce attorney, I have seen animals come up as a big part of separation and divorce. And maybe not as much of a fight as people put up for children, but it's not necessarily a far cry, especially if they don't have any children, because people who don't have any children oftentimes treat their pets like children. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. He seems very attached to the dog. I would be surprised if he stole her dog, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's more of a battle over it than what you're thinking it is. It just might be. I mean,
He was getting the dog ice cream cones and everything.
I thought he was going to lick the same cone. I was like, okay.
You know, he got some love for Hank, you know. Why not? There was no love for Gina. Love Hank. There it is.
Well, we'll see. I guess they're trying to drag out these episodes, so I don't know when we're going to find out what happens to poor Hank. But hopefully in this episode that's coming up, we will find out what happened. And yeah, I heard Gina's, well, I don't know if it was Gina's friend or an attorney telling her. It couldn't have been an attorney because attorneys don't say things like this. But they said possession is 9/10 of the law. And so I'm like, what is really going on? I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. It's sad, though, that this is like the sticking point. This is the main thing we're talking about is Hank.
Yeah.
In all of their relationship. Because their relationship was very uneventful. Yeah, they had to say no. They had to say no.
They kind of had a situationship, but not even a friendship.
Yeah, I don't know. Does a situationship involve intimacy, though?
Not in this context. They were living together situation.
That's just a roommate.
Married at first sight situation. That's
roommates at first sight. Barely.
Roommates at first sight. I take it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, anyway, that's all we have on Gina and Clint. Please drop your comments below, like, share, and subscribe. And we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.